prior to the Yimloch, there is the passage in the middle of page 217, Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zeh Mipicha. This book of the Torah shall not depart out of your mouth. In the middle of that paragraph, there's a phrase, Va'az taskil, then shalt thou do wisely. Those words are a congregational response, and it follows, have I not commanded thee be strong and of good courage? Now, our recent custom has been for the Torah carrier to rise at that point and bring it up to the edge of the reader's desk. I have to report that this was not always the custom. It used to be that only for the last 3 words, Behol Asher Telech, which is really enough time for the Torah to be brought to the Tebah and rested on the edge of the table. When that is done, then comes the Yimloch, which I described earlier. Now, after the 4th Yimloch by the congregation, the rabbi then says, Mizmor LeDavid, a psalm of David, introducing the 29th psalm, which is the text to which the Torah is carried back to the ark. Now, I'd like to point out that the Torah should not be moved until after the words Mizmor LeDavid are said, so that as the Torah is lifted and carried off, the rabbi can join in back of it, and behind him the Parnas and accompany her.
Mizmor LeDavid habu lamonai.
Now this entire psalm is chanted by the congregation. And as the scroll is carried to the center of the room and the carriers start walking toward the ark, let me just point out the timing of that return procession. Remember, it's slower than the taking out. In fact, the timing is such that it takes the full time to recite the psalm.
Sing it.
Now, it takes a certain amount of skill to time the march so that you reach the steps of the Heichal on the last verse, Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. There are a number of ways of doing this. Some people take a step just after the name of God is recited each time. The name of God appears 18 times in this psalm. I knew one person who was able to walk steadily and directly and time it accurately so that he reached the steps of the Heichal just on the verse Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Some people, as they walk back, try to keep their steps, their feet separated, so it looks as if they are constantly walking. I find this somewhat artificial, and I tend to discourage it. Let me just say one other thing during the passage. As the scrolls pass through the congregation, it is our custom to bow as the Torah passes by. It has not been our custom, as is true in many communities, to kiss the scroll. Our architecture is not designed to encourage it, and it has never been our custom. But it is respectful to bow, which shows the regard in which the scroll is kept. Now, I did not mention earlier that just as a king never moves without music, so the scroll is never moved without music. Even when it is lifted from the bench to the tebah, or lifted from the tebah and taken back to the bench, there is a verse prescribed to give it a musical accompaniment. The placing of the Torah in the ark is the responsibility of the carrier, who must arrange the cloak in a neat fashion, and the rabbi then stays at the foot of the steps of the Heichal to receive offerings from other members of the congregation who feel so inclined. The Parnas, who is carrying the pointer, the Yad, hands it to the person who has opened the ark, and the person who has opened the ark places the pointer back, pointing to or at the foot of the first scroll which has been read. At the end of the offerings, the rabbi starts the closing melody, Shuvah Limonach, return to Zion thine abode.
That's after the doors close.
No, that's before the doors close. The congregation joins in this singing from the beginning through to the end. And the last words of that passage are Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem, renew our days as of old. And on those three words, the doors are slowly and quietly closed, so that they should close with the last mem sound. And this is a summary of the customs associated with the reading of the Torah. I hope you have learned something from this demonstration, and if you still have questions, the rabbi or I will be happy to respond.